You nigga was not at the bottom. She been telling me that ESPN got bomb on me because we blowing nigga down.
And I'm gonna pause right here for a quick second. You said that you had ESPN tattooed on you. What does ESPN mean?
It don't. I don't know.
Like Sports Center? Is that what you mean? Sports Center?
Have you ever heard every slime play nasty?
Yeah.
Is that one of the meanings of ESPN?
I guess if you want it to be.
Ooh.
Have you ever used ESPN to mean every slime play nasty?
Not that I can recall. I don't remember.
Viral news source. Viral news source.